Yeah. From miscommunication to conversation. You know what it is. Yeah. When the sun down, my mind is on the rundown. I be feeling like my happiness is on the come down. But when I speak to you, I feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I can talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. I got words on my mind I've never said before. I try to silence them, but they refuse to be ignored. So every now and then I find them slipping out the door. I guess it's better in the end, cause they don't bother me no more. If it's weighing heavy on your chest, don't let it make you fall. It's better to say something than say nothing at all. So I'll put it on display, it's my life protocol. I'ma light it up on fire, I'ma write it on the wall. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I can talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. You know, the world will make you feel like you can never be yourself, or you can never say how you really feel. Until now, yeah. When the sun down, my mind is on the rundown. I be feeling like my happiness is on the come down. But when I speak to you, I feel like it's a touchdown. Finally found me someone I can really trust now. I always have so much to say, but no one to say it to. If I can talk to you today, I know I can make it through. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station. So let's have this conversation, like a radio station.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this edition of The Conversation with Maria Byrd. We have an amazing guest today, and I'm so excited about today's show. She is a minister, American author, mentor, songwriter, marriage, mediator, and clean comedian. Donna has a natural gift to enlighten, offer wisdom, and bring joy and laughter in any setting. She is a wife of 28 years, a mother of 3 children, and a friend to many. Her life experiences both share great maturity that directs women in a spirit of love and firmness. She and her husband, Jimmy, partner together full-time at Brown Ministries, where they mentor and offer biblical guidance in the way of the Lord, according to Titus 2:3-5. Please help me welcome to the show my very special guest, Donna Brown. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you, Maria?
I am amazing. How are you, Donna?
I'm trying to be amazing. I'm trying to be like you, okay?
Oh, wow. Well, it's such a tremendous honor to have you here on the show with us today. And before we get started, can you just tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Donna T. Brown. And my bad, Maria, I think the information I gave you had 28 years. We've actually been married 31 years.
Wow.
My bad. I probably gave you an old script, but anyway, it's 31 years in January. I've got 3 children. They're grown and gone. My daughter is in college, 2 boys, and then my daughter who is in college, and she's a senior. And we are just enjoying life. We're full-time in ministry, doing what we feel God has called us to do, and it feels good. It just feels good to be doing what you feel like God has called you to do. And how you know it is that it feels good. I mean, it's rewarding, it's fulfilling. Jesus said that he came to give life. He's also wanting us to know what did we come here for? And
Mm.
I think that's so very important. So after scrambling around for 31 years, we're finally getting to know who we are in Christ and what we're here for. And that feels good. It feels really good.
Yes, yes. And again, when I was reading over your bio and I follow
Mhm.
your ministry, one of the things that I absolutely love is that you are a Christian comedian.
Yes, 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 yes. Mattie J. Yeah. Uh, she's something. She's a character that was actually birthed off of a skit that was done by me and a fellow friend of mine, Bishop Lawrence Jackson. We did it several years ago about the kitchen committee. And Miss Mattie was the mean server in the kitchen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And we went around doing that for a good while, but then it kind of settled down. She's a pastor and everything, and I had my own life going. But the Lord told me not to let Mattie die. And
Mm.
so since 2015, Mattie has been on Facebook doing videos, just doing videos, and shows. I've been traveling doing shows, but I was a little hidden secret. Mattie J was a hidden secret until this video that was done that blew up, and now people are discovering who she is.
Wow. And that particular video that you're talking about, it's in reference to when Mattie J was doing a skit regarding the kitchen committee. About
Uh-huh.
how many views does that particular video have?
Now, the kitchen committee where me and Lawrence Jackson was doing, Bishop Jackson, that has over 13 million views. That video right there,
Wow.
13, and it's just been floating out there since November 2015. But what brought Miss Mattie, the video that brought Miss Mattie forth, was done January 31st of 2021. And you see how God does things.
Come
6 years later,
on.
yes, 6 years later, I just did a video. I fought my wig off at church today. And just one of the videos that I do so often, but this particular one had the stuff on it. And it is now over 1.4 million views.
Wow. Well, that's
Mhm.
absolutely amazing. And again, I just appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to
Thank
be with me today. And I wanted to learn more about you, about
you.
Donna. And so I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
If we were to go back in time, what type of child would you say you were?
I was, believe it or not, I was quiet. I really was. I am one of 9 children. Um, I was different, so to speak. I think I was. My grandmother used to take me around singing at different churches. I was a little girl, and my songs that I learned was "Yes, Jesus Loves Me" and "He's Sweet I Know." Now, I while I did sing a little bit, singing is definitely not my gift. But my grandmother, I think she saw something in me, and she
Mm,
was just like trying it out. You know what I'm saying? She would,
yes.
say little different things. She saw something and she wanted to kind of develop it, but she didn't really know what it was. Um, but I was quiet. I could write poetry. I could draw. I would tell stories. I was a storyteller. My friends today will tell you about how many stories that I would think of just in this noodle, scary stories, and they would be scared to go home. I was that type of child that I laughed, I enjoyed life and everything. But believe it or not, I was kind of eccentric and a little quiet. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Mm-hmm,
I absolutely love that. And for me, I think that it blesses people that hears it because
mm-hmm,
oftentimes when we think about creative geniuses or we think
mm-hmm,
about, entertainers or those that God uses in the forefront, it is
mm-hmm.
this assumption that as a child, they was the life of the party.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
oftentimes
Mm-hmm,
that's not true. Actually, the
mm-hmm,
opposite is true. They
uh-huh.
are
Mm-hmm.
introverts,
Yes, yes,
but that's why it's
yes.
so important to not judge a book by its cover.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I knew, I knew that I had something to do. Just didn't know what I was gonna do. My parents, they didn't, they weren't the pushers. They back then, you grow up, you get your lesson, graduate from school, get your trade. That's what was told to us back then. But I don't think they knew how to develop what was in me, the gifts that were in me.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Wow. And this actually is prophetic, and it takes me to my next question. In life, we all face trials and go through tribulations. Can you
Mhm.
just give us an example of a trial that you had to overcome?
The death of my sister.
Mm.
It was, like I said, it was 9 of us, and my sister Letitia was next to me. She was like a year and a half younger than me. And my sister was not outgoing. She and I were totally different. She was very quiet. She was quiet for real, for real. And she used to, as a child, she had medical issues. She used to have seizures and always had something going on. And then later on in life, she was diagnosed with MS. Okay. So, like in 1990. And I just saw her life just deteriorate, and she ultimately passed away from complications of MS, and she was 37 years old. And forever, I was guilt ridden because of her death. I just felt like that she was cheated, and I was out there living my life, doing everything that I wanted to do. She never even learned how to ride a bicycle, drive a car. She didn't have any children. And so there was a lot of guilt that I was carrying because I just felt like I had a chance and she didn't. But as you come to know God and come to know that his thoughts are not our thoughts, and the way he does things is not the way we would have him to do things, I had to pray and ask him to help me through that. It's been 16 years, February 6th, I'll never forget it. It's been 16 years since her death. And then, every now and then I have my moments, but I just feel like she's watching over me because she always did. She was my biggest fan. She laughed at everything that I did. And I will never, ever forget my sister and what she was to me, ever.
Yes. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. And so many
Mm,
people are dealing with the loss of a loved one, or some
yes.
type of situation or circumstances. But I
Mhm.
love how your perseverance, your
Mm,
tenacity, through that particular situation ultimately caused you to persevere. And so that really ministers to other people. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're facing, continue to press forward. And like you said, God will reveal to you how he's going to get glory out of that
yeah.
situation.
Yes. Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
powerful. I love it. I love
Mhm.
it. And so let me ask you this.
Mhm.
When and how did you even become a Christian?
Um, we had a live-in grandmother, okay? The same grandmother that used to take me around. And so she was this devout Christian. She read her Bible, she prayed, everything. She kept us in line. It was 9 children. So she kept us in line. She sent us to Sunday school. She took us literally. We would line up and go walk to Sunday school. And she she gave us the foundation that we needed. She taught us about Jesus, taught us what Jesus it should be to us in our lives, how we should project Jesus in our lives. And then, she kept us in church, and she exposed us. And, we took it however we wanted to take it. Now, I will say this, I quote unquote joined the church when I was little. I joined because I felt like, when they have they get you on the mourner's bench, and you sit up there and you
Right.
give your life, whatever. Of course, most of the time as a child, you do not know what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing. But I did it because mama said to do it. But I was in church, but I would say I really didn't have a true relationship with God until, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but until my husband almost died in a car accident. And that's what changed my life. That's what started me to live for Christ. And that was at the age of
Wow.
24. Mhm.
Yes. Tell us more about that.
Okay. We married January 20th, 1990. Okay. March 22nd, 1990, 2 months, 2 days after our wedding date, my husband was on his way to work. And to this day, we have no idea what happened, but we do know that the back of an 18-wheeler ended up in his front seat, and it almost decapitated him. So the police say that they think he fell asleep on the way where he worked at UPS. He worked those early morning hours, but we still don't. He definitely don't know because he has absolutely no
Memory.
idea
Yeah.
of what happened. But when that happened, that changed my life. I mean, I was like, okay, God, you told me to marry this man. So did you tell me to marry him so I could be a widow after 2 months? What's going on here? Not knowing the true light, the story that was going to come out of this, the beauty that was going to come out of these ashes. I remember when he was in, actually having his surgeries, because he had several surgeries. I asked God, I said, Lord, if you save him, I promise you I will serve you. I promise you. And that was me giving my life to Christ then. And ultimately, of course, he saved him. And after that, that's my journey into Christianity, in serving God, being a believer for real.
Yes. Wow. That's
Mhm.
absolutely powerful. And,
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things that I loved and discovered about your ministry is that you
Mhm.
and your husband are both ministers who actually
Mhm.
do, marital counseling. And
Mhm.
I just love how God took that tragedy and turned it into a triumph.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Can you
was,
just tell us a little bit more about it?
well, in our journey as husband and wife, we started out early suffering, going through. Okay.
Mhm.
And there's nothing wrong with that because the word tells you that there's going to be some suffering. So we started out very early, um, struggling, working together with what we had. We'd see our other friends, have things, and we made sacrifices. We went through a lot of financial lack because when he had his accident, he had to quit his job, and I quit mine too to care for him. So our first months, but the first year was horribly a horrible adjustment. I'll just say that at the time. We went through a lot emotionally. And every year there was something. There was always something that was like, Lord, what's going on? What is going on? When I say we've been down through there, we have. But God actually revealed to us that everything that we've ever gone through was to bring us to what we're doing right now.
Mm.
The struggle was real, but God was real, and he is so amazing, and he allowed us to see him in all of that we went through, because even his accident, we weren't supposed to have children. He was supposed to just like be this vegetable that couldn't do anything. And now he's chasing me around the country. He's my manager with Mattie J and everything. And we're counseling couples. And I do believe that the reason why God allowed all this is for us to be sensitive to the couples that we're sitting before. It's like, if we've never experienced lack, we can't tell you how to stay together when you don't have any money, you know?
Right.
So we've been through it, just a little bit of just God allowed a little bit of everything to happen so we can do what we're doing now,
Mhm.
especially in the marriage ministry part. Mhm.
Yes, wow. And this is so necessary, and I wanted to, just give you this opportunity as a minister. What is
Mhm.
God saying to his people? What do you believe he wants them to know?
so much. But one thing that I think, what we're going through now, the world is experiencing a lot of division. Oh my God. I never thought that I would live through what my grandparents went through. Never, ever thought. Never thought that I would be afraid to be stopped by a police officer. Never thought that. Someone who was supposed to serve and protect me. And, never thought that I would be afraid, or, and for not just for me, but especially for my husband and my sons, who by our skin color poses a threat. Never thought that. And I think God is wanting us to, of course, come together. He says, how in the world can you say you love me? You say you love me, but you hate your brother? That don't add up. I'm sorry. What God are you serving? Because it's not me. And my thing is, I always, even in posts on Facebook, I always tell people to enjoy life. Just enjoy it. So much is going, the pandemic, all of this craziness that's going on in the world. Take every moment that you breathe, live, walk, talk, taste, everything. Just seize every moment of it, because life is like a vapor. It is. It really is. You hear gone today, here today, gone tomorrow. No, here today, gone the next minute. So I would like for people to enjoy life. Just enjoy it. Yeah, we got issues. You're gonna, as long as you're here, you're gonna have something going on. But give it to God and say, Lord, I trust you, but I'm gonna enjoy my life. So what's for dinner?
Come on, that's it. And that is
Okay.
such a powerful, powerful message. No matter what we face in life, no matter what we go through, we have to trust God. We have to trust his process and enjoy life, because that's what Christ ultimately came to give us: abundant life.
John
Yes.
10:10. I came to give life and life more abundantly. Yes. Yes.
That is it. Wow,
Yes.
Donna, this has been absolutely amazing. Before we go into the next segment, how can people connect with you?
Okay. We're on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is our platform. Facebook is what gave us the exposure that we have. So
yes,
we're on Facebook under Donna, Donna, the letter N, and then Jimmy, Jimmy, Donna N Jimmy. And we're also on Facebook as Meet the Browns - Married for Life. MARIED, the letter 4 and life, LIFE. We're also on IG under Donna_N_Jimmy as well. But we do most of our activity is on Facebook. And you can also, if you want to contact us for booking or whatever, or schedule for marriage ministry or mentoring, you can contact us on Brown Ministries, BROWN Ministries, MINITRIES, 2018 at gmail.com. Brown
yes.
Ministries Inc. 2018 at gmail.com.
Yes, you guys, make sure that you go and follow them. I promise you, you won't be disappointed and you will be blessed. Well, listen, we're getting ready to go into the second segment of this show. And so stay tuned, because we have for you a special treat.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maria. Appreciate it.
Well, you guys, we are back. This is the second segment of today's show. And like I said before the break, we have for you a very special treat. We have a new guest with us. She is the church protocol and paraphernalia analyst for the Southeast. She is a well-known public figure who can be found on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Her current position allows her to travel throughout the nation, keeping the local churches updated with the current policies and procedures as mandated by the SCLC. She is married to her husband, Herman, and she enjoys working in the church, chatting with her sisters, and fighting. She is also very active in her church and currently serves on the Senior Usher Board, Pastors Aid Club, Missionary Society, and Kitchen Committee. She's also served 14 years in the state penitentiary. She's not ashamed of her former life of crime, as she feels her unfortunate experiences can be used to bless the lives of others. She's a free spirit who is admired universally for her bold and forthright persona. Please help me welcome to the show, Mattie J.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Maria? God bless you, and thank you for having me today. Thank you, darling.
Yes, wow, it's an honor to have you here with us. How are you? How have you been?
I'm okay. I'm doing good. Me and Herman ran errands this morning, and went to get some eggs and stuff from the farmers market and things like that. Just our regular routine. That's what we do. That's just what we do.
Yes. Well, listen, Miss Mattie J, it's an honor to have you here on the show with me. And, we all have a testimony. And part of your testimony is actually in your bio, where it stated that you were incarcerated for 14 years. Let me ask you, why were you incarcerated and what have you learned from that experience?
Oh, Lord. I ain't gonna say I learned that. I'm like, yeah, well, they got me for petty larceny. They was petty about it to me. That was before I got my white men's attorneys. I have two attorneys, Scotty Big Dave. What happened was we was in church, and a man came in the church. He was drunk, and he wanted to jump on the pastor for the sermon that he preached. And we know the man was out of his mind. He didn't have good sense or nothing like that. He was born like that. And so Mattie J jumped on him. Deacon Boy wouldn't do nothing. They wouldn't do nothing. So Mattie J took it upon herself, jumped on him and beat him down. And, the family pressed charges against me. That along with petty larceny. I think they was petty about the whole situation. But that's what I had to end up going to the lockup for 14 years. And when I learned anything, I think I learned how to sharpen my skills in fighting, because that's all I did when I was in prison. That's it.
Wow. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, the deacons, and I know that you're very active in ministry. Can you just give us some wisdom nuggets? What are some wisdom nuggets that you would like for the leaders of the church or the members of the church to know?
Well, my thing is, as a leader of the church, if you're gonna lead, just lead. Just be an example. Now, I guess you'd probably say, Mattie J, you saying be an example as many fights as you get into. Well, I'm a different kind of person. I just am. I am who I am. I don't try to put on no pretenses. We find that we got a lot of fakeness in church, and that's not what I am. And I can't be that. So I can't be nobody who I am. And for that, the pastor appreciates that. Don't you know as much trouble as I get into, I ain't supposed to be in nobody church? Nobody church. But pastor allows me to be there because for one thing, he appreciates that I am who I am. He said, Sister Mattie, you're going to find Jesus one day. I said, well, when I do, you'll know it. I guess you'll know it. I feel like I found him, but every now and then I kind of wander off. But that's just who I am. But I just want leaders, though. I want the leaders just lead. If you're gonna be a leader, put over in it. If you put over in auxiliary in the church, just be a leader and true to what you're supposed to be doing. That's all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, Miss Mattie J, do you consider yourself to be a mother of the church? And if so,
No.
do you get along with the other mothers?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Maria. I don't want nobody to look up to me that Miss Mattie J, she's a mother figure. No, I'm a regulator. That's who I am. I'm a regulator. I make sure that you're supposed to be doing what you do. Even you come to the house of the Lord thy God, I'm gonna make sure that you follow the proper protocol and procedure of our church as listed on our bylaws, that you do what you're supposed to be while you're in the house. So now don't look at me from the day. Some of them, you know, I give advices and stuff like that. But no, baby, I ain't your mom. No, I ain't your mom.
Well, do you get along with the mothers of the church?
I does. I find out, Maria, that the more that I'm to myself and I'm a kind of to myself type person, people see me and become intimidation. And I guess because what you see is this I am. I wear shades. I always have. I wore shades since I was like 2 years old. And I go to bed in shades. I just do that. And so therefore they think I'm shady, I guess, But I'm just who I am. I ain't got to, hang out with nobody. I ain't got to hang, how women think they need to hang out and get together and laugh and hee kiki. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. But hey, how you doing, darling? Hey, sister. Hey, baby, how you doing? That's about it. Next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every church has a kitchen committee.
Yeah.
What do you want to say to the kitchen committee?
This is what I want to say. I want to say to the kitchen committee and to the people who's being served by the kitchen committee. Yes, we do take all the good food and put it in our trunk and set it aside so we can have our own church. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. You got the Shaniquas and the Lolos and all them to come in there and fix them canned greens and stuff. That's what we get to y'all. We give y'all the canned greens and the bulk cake, icebox cakes and stuff like that. But when Sister Lois and Sister Antoinette and them, and they bring stuff, Lou and them, they bring them greens and stuff, we go ahead and get that and give y'all what the young girls fix, Shanique with them. We get that to you. Yeah, we just want the best. It's just the truth. See, that's I'm coming level to level. We just I tell you the truth. We sure do. Homemade cakes, Sister Emma made. Oh yeah, y'all get the wall moments. Next question.
Wow. I wanted to ask, first Sundays. On first Sundays, a lot of churches have communion. What do you want to say to the deacons and to the church leaders all around the world regarding communion?
Okay. What I want to speak on is not necessarily the act of taking communion, because we know what the Lord thy God says about this. Often you do this, you do it thinking about me, remembering who I am. We know that. And one plug I want to put in there is it ain't always, often don't always mean it got to be first Sunday. If you want to, you can take communion at home. Now, this as often as you do. Okay? And now this is what I really want to bring out. If I ain't got my white dress pressed that Sunday, don't you ostracize me. Don't do it. We always wear our white dress, all white all the way down with the little dolly and things on top of our head and stuff. But if I ain't got my white dress on and my white stockings, don't ostracize. Because this is just all this is something that we does in church. I understand formality. I understand all that. But don't be so heavily bound that you ain't no earthly good. You can cause me to leave. But I tell you, when I do leave, I'm going out shooting. Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. And that's perfect that you said that, because it brings me to my next question. You are known for being a part of a lot of the altercations at the church.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And, during those altercations, after the issue was addressed and conflict resolution was applied, you was reinstated to your position shortly thereafter. Many feel as though you received favoritism from the pastor. Is that true? Why or why not? Give us an example.
Okay. I go to a lot of the deacon board meetings. I normally end up in there because we get in there. They bring Mattie before you know how back in the day you may be too young to remember. They used to bring people's women, especially before the church when they did something. Well, they bring me before the deacon board and we sit in and they kind of analyze what I done did for that particular day. One thing, Pastor knows that some of the stuff that I does is kind of over the top. But he also knows, as I'm going back to saying I'm a regulator, he also knows that I keep order. And people that are troublemakers, they don't really come to our church. Not that they're looking for mess. They don't come because they know Mattie J gonna be out. I may be at the back door gate of the church. And so they don't come with no mess. Now, that's probably why Pastor is a little partiality, just sideways partiality to Mattie J, simply because of our regulates. And he's thinking, now, shoot, my sorry deacons ain't doing nothing, I may as well keep Mattie J. Don't that make sense to you? Say it, Maria. No.
Yes.
So that's why he probably show a little partiality. Just so. Now he do put me on probation. Now that does, I do. He suspends me when I sometimes just do a little too much. I get carried away. But he reinstates me every time. Yes, Lord.
Wow. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Yes. What is, something, because I also know that in previous interviews or times that you have spoken, you mentioned children and your relationship with the children's ministry in the church. Can you just talk a little bit about that for me?
Children's ministry. Well, I'm gonna say this. Jesus help me, Lord. I tried out for children's ministry because the Lord our God wants you to see where your place is in the church. Because when you find out where your place is, you're gonna serve it with delicacy. You're gonna do it good. You have the anointment for it. And so I tried out for children's ministry. And therefore, I discovered I don't have the anointment for it. Because cheering, they gonna be cheering. And I can't, these mothers nowadays don't want you to do like I was brought up to be done. I'm the village keeper. I'm part of the village. And some of these young girls don't see that. They feel like, they child can do anything. And so the first time I tried out for children's ministry, pastor had to call me into a meeting because when the parents came in to get their children, they was hanging up by the coat hangers in the nursery. Next question.
Wow.
I ain't cut out the children's ministry.
Wow, Miss Mattie, let me ask you this, because so many young people, they're involved in different things. And what would you say, to the teenagers or to the preteens, to the young people, what is something that you want to say to them?
Listen to us. Listen to older people. Y'all don't know if listen, I'm gonna say I know when I was younger, I didn't listen like I was supposed to. I'm not saying that you ain't gonna kind of, be different in your opinions or nothing like that. But we done been through some stuff. Listen to what we gotta say. Now, some of the stuff you can take little bits and pieces and apply to your life. Everything ain't gonna be applicable. But something, the very meat is gonna be what you need for your life. Listen to us. You don't know everything. You couldn't. So listen to some things. Now, some of us adults don't be even knowing what we're talking about. We don't. Some of us don't really true. Say stuff, some of the most ignorant stuff you ever want to hear. But then some of you take it, if you was raised by somebody who got some sense, halfway put some sense in you, you'll know the bits and pieces. I'm gonna take this, what Miss Sally said. I'm gonna take this, what Miss Mattie said. I'm gonna take this, what Miss Inez said, take this, what Miss Old said. And I'm gonna take this and apply it to my life. Because all that other stuff, I don't really need. I appreciate them giving it, but I don't need that. But I'm going to take little bits and pieces and apply it to my life. See what God do with it.
Yes. And that is so powerful. And, you know, I also have to ask you to speak to those parents, because some parents, they're dealing with problem children, or, you know, those children that not trying to hear what they're saying.
Right.
Speak to those parents.
Babies, let me tell y'all something. You're going to have God in your life to raise children nowadays, because this is a different breed of children. They got their own opinions. Some of them got, not, I will say some of them are more open-minded and want to discuss things more. Coming up in our day, you know, what you did was you took instructions from the elders and you didn't ask questions. I don't altogether agree with that. See, you didn't ask questions because sometimes I said what I said and that's it. You don't say nothing else. But mama, I got questions. Okay, I ain't pressed. But see, I think now, you know, these children are seeing that. Now, I want to know, can you tell me what's wrong with that? I just want to know. I don't know. I just want to know. And so I think we need to have more conversations with our children, be more open to talk to them. Some of the stuff that they say gonna make your liver quick, just listen. Because you want them to talk to you and not go out there and talk to Chicago, who she don't know what she talking about. She don't know what she talking about. But take advice from her. I'd rather for to just sit and just listen. Even though it's making me sick to listen to it, listen and then try to keep a straight face, parallel, and so they'll trust me as a parent. That's what I want these young children, parents to know. Talk to your children. Let it be open line. Talk level to level.
Level. Yes, ma'am. And you know, that is so powerful what you just said, because oftentimes if the parent does not talk to that child, then the friend or the wrong person is going to get to that child.
You better know it. You better know it. They will.
So it's critical. And I love this intelligence and this wisdom that you're giving to the parents and to the children alike. I had another question for you, you know, Miss Mattie J, regarding you and your amazing husband, Herman. In times where, you know, you're telling us about different things that's happening at the church, oftentimes you can hear Herman off to the side and he's scolding you, or, you know, letting you know what he approved of, what he didn't approve of. You know, after the cameras stop rolling, you know, how does that end? Like, do you and Herman start arguing, or what happens?
Most of the time I've gone bust him in his mouth. I just don't want to do it all on camera to embarrass him, even though he ain't in on the scene. But I just don't want the people, my audience, to see just how far it goes sometimes. Herman likes it. He loved me. We've been together a long time. If he'd have been let go of me, he liked that the chaotic that I bring. He liked the excitement. I bring a lot of action. And I think that's another one of the reasons pastors like to keep me in the church, because we have a lot of activity. It ain't boring in church. You ain't gonna fall asleep now with Mattie J there. No. So I think that's what Herman, like a woman on the wild side, God just gave him extra when he got Mattie J.
Yes. How did you and Herman meet?
Oh, Lord have mercy. Long story short, my dad used to run the shop house back in the field, and I used to help run it, wait on the tables and stuff like that. And then one particular night, it was two guys stayed late. They had planned on robbing the place. Okay, my dad had went to the house, take some stuff, and I was there cleaning up the tables. And the men's was there. They was gonna jump me. Herman just happened to come in. He thought that the shop house was closed, but still open. Excuse me. And he came in, saw me tussling with the men's. Herman used to be a fighter back in the day when he was in the service and things. And so when I get to him, he can fight, because sometimes we fight together on our journeys sometimes. But Herman came in there and just, he went to her and me, both of them out. I almost killed one of them. And so that was attractive to me. A man, for me, that can fight. Sure enough, there it is. That's how we met.
Did you, when you was tussling with the men, did you do the locomotive punches?
Locomotive blows. I had one of them in a good position. I had him. Locomotive blows. That's the consistent blows on the crown of his head just going. But see, there was another man back there. He grabbed me, pulled me all the way back. And that's when Herman came in just in time. Because I think he cut my throat. I think he had pulled out a knife too. Oh, that was a good fight there. Herman came in and saved me. And so the rest is history. Mattie J and Herman history. That's all. I'll never forget that. That was sexy to me. That was real sexy. Yes, Lord.
Mattie J, I wanted to ask you, what is next for you?
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. We doing so much virtual comedy now, that I'm doing virtual ushering and stuff. I gotta get acclimated to that stuff. Just doing stuff on these little TVs and stuff like that. Lord, we got some special engagements coming up. Virtual and in-person radios like you doing. Honey, we got that coming up. I got my special occasion greetings that I give. And that's why I like people send in a little bio on themselves. And Mattie J get out there. I read the bio and I put that person in my life. I incorporate them in my life like I've been knowing them. And then I go on there, if it's their birthday, I tell a little history about them and everything. And then say happy birthday to them. We doing that. I'm supposed to, we heard from Lord Hammer Pompano, Florida. They have a comedy show every year. The city of Florida contacted Mattie J of Pompano, said they want Mattie J. Yes, honey, want Mattie J to come and have comedy that night. So I looked it up. I did a little research, and that's a pretty big thing. Look up Pompano stand-up comedy show. That's what it is. So they contacted me on that. Then we just got parties and church appearances. I'm just praying for this pandemonium to clear up so Mattie J can get out. I just feel so much love. I got so many publics, I don't even know what to do with them all. We got 1,000 publics pending. I can't even bring them in because we already at our 5,000 limit on Facebook TV. People just following and coming in. I just feel so much love. I like that. Mm-hmm. Good. Stop laughing. Yeah. Well, how pretty I ain't doing that. It's pretty.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. Mattie J, I want you to just take a couple minutes to encourage someone that's listening.
This is what I want to encourage people to do. Laugh. The word of the Lord thy God. People, whoa, Lord, I can go on and on, but I know because I know I'm on your time. Laugh. Don't nobody want to be sitting up under somebody who everything is serious. Because that ain't even realistic. Life ain't serious all the time. Laugh. God tells you laughter is like good medicine. It helps the inside, the juggling of the inside. When you get to laughing and jocking and everything, even if you were stopped up, you done work something up and then it's like a laxative. Laugh. some of the news feeds, some of the stuff, but 99% of the stuff is positive. But every now and then you'll get somebody who is older than thou, who done talked to Moses, Isaac, Jacob, and Cain and Abel. And they want to tell you what you doing is not of God. And see, you know what? I only have to say that my public dive in and they say what I can't say. It's like, baby, laugh. I'm telling you, laughter is scriptural. Laugh. These things that we doing, this is just to help us through what we going through. Laugh. That's what I want to encourage you to do. Take the time out to laugh.
Yes. Wow. With Mattie J, this has been absolutely amazing. And that is something that you help us to do, laugh. So thank you so much for being with me on the show today. It was an honor to have you.
God bless you. It's honorable to be here. Thank you for asking me, because you didn't have to do it and you did. And I appreciate you, babe. Your pretty self.
Well, all right, you guys, this has been absolutely epic. Again, I want to thank my very special guest, Miss Mattie J. And you guys, make sure that you follow her and just allow her ministry to bless your life, because I promise you it will. Well, until next time, be sure to tune in to the next edition of The Conversation with Maria Byrd.
Thank you, baby.
So let's have this conversation like a radio station.